Okay, I think we are live. Let's do some double checking here. Let me turn on the comments and I'm going to go over to my computer and just double check. It says I'm connected to both, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. Might be good here. Let's see. Let me get back to my cameras and no, we don't want to do that, do we? I think we are good. Let me get back to the comments. Okay. Looks like we're live. I'm going to go check the computer. We got good connection. Give me just a second. I'm going to slide over here. I'm checking to make sure we are live. Give me just a second. And I think we might be. Whoa. Hang on. My mouse is doing crazy weird stuff. Yep. We are live. I see myself. Okay. Coming back. Good evening. Hello. We are just getting started. No one's on yet, but you're the first one. Aren't you lucky? Yay, from Texas. Since we're in the group, I'm not able to see names unless you put those in the comment section. When we did the page on Saturday, Facebook allows you to see names on the page, but not in the group, which is fine. If you want to put your name in there, that's fine. If not, it's okay. I'll read them when once we get done with the live. So, excuse me, welcome. Oh, it's hot here. Well, it's not hot. You're in Texas. It's hot here in Florida, but it's today has been overcast and cloudy and windy. Quite as windy as it's been, but just kind of one of those dreary days. I don't know what is going on, but anyways. So hopefully you can hear me. It looks like my microphone is working and I'm logged in. So we'll start here in a few minutes. It's 2 minutes till. So sometimes I like to come on early because there are some people like you that come on early. And then there's others that wait and come on, like 4 minutes after 7. But that's okay. So we'll give it a couple of minutes, wait for everybody to pop on. And now you came, is it Marcia? Is that right? You came, did you do the thing on Saturday? Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Where are you in Texas? Oh, I know the northern part, because I remember eons ago, I went out to California and took Interstate 10, I guess it was, and I went through the tip of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my gosh. I lived in Corpus Christi for 2 years. That was a part of my life that was a little different, but that's the things we do when we're young. But yeah, I enjoyed living out there. It was nice. We lived on the island well, not the island, but Corpus Christi, the little island that's right off Corpus Christi. Oh, thank you. These are my little flippy doos. Did I show you all I know you, if you were on Saturday, these are called Pairwear, and you buy your glasses. You can get them to put the prescription in. I went ahead and had my eye doctor do it. I don't know why, but I did. And then you can buy these, what they're called flips. And I have all these different, I've started buying all these different colors. Saturday, if you were here, I was doing the, our creation anticipation. And I had on frames that have multicolored little doggy prints. And then, hey everyone. And then I've got, let's see, turquoise. I did have those on Saturday too. And I've got some palm trees. And I just ordered some that are they're crafty. They've got like scissors and tape and measuring things and all sorts of stuff. So I figure, why not? It's fun, And they've got Snoopy. They've got all the like sports people, the sports things and stuff like that. But I like them because it's easier than carrying 2 sets of glasses. So now I just have a little case that's maybe, I don't know, it's paper thin, right? I mean, thin that you can slide 2 of the flips in. But these come off. And so and you can get sunglasses, and then the sunglasses you are tinted, obviously, and you can get different colored tints if you want to. But these are my like dual blues, and I got a turquoise. I have the doggy prints. I have let me think, palm trees, and then I have a pair of green sparkles, but I don't like those, and I've only worn them once. And I'm running out of room now because you can buy a little magnetic thing you can hang on the wall. It's a little cloth thing that's got magnets in it because it's all attached with little magnets. And I'll see right here. You can see the little magnets. Let me see if I can get in the camera. Whoa, wait, let's see which way. See the little magnets right there? And this is empty. See, you put your finger through it. I can't even get to the camera. Here we go. You think I'm a dork. You think I've done this than my first time. So these are empty, and you just pop them on your glasses, and then you can switch your colors to match all your outfits. I like them. The frames are $25. The flips are. And I think the frames are like, I don't know, 40 or 50. And then by the time you have your prescription and stuff put in, but the way I look at it is once you've got your frames, then you just order $25 and you got a whole new pair of glasses, right? You just change out your color, the flip. So now I'm kind of hooked on them. And I can't remember, I ordered 3 more pair. My husband's going to shoot me, but oh well. You only live once, right? So why not? I'm taking advantage of it. And it matches my top. So anyways, welcome everyone. All right, so who's in Texas, and where are you in Texas that it's 55 degrees? That's what I want to know. Because I know that it can't be, well, I don't know. I wouldn't think it'd be San Antonio. You've got to be in the northern part unless there's a cold spell coming through. But who knows these days, right? We've been having wind, and my hair has decided now if the natural curl wants to come back after, I don't know. This is crazy. So anyways, but we'll get started. We'll give it another minute or so while the others pop on, and then we'll get started. I'll go ahead and just announce who I am for those that are on. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I've been with them. I joined in February of 2011, and I think I started creating cards and stuff about a year before that. I worked in the mortgage industry, and I had a lady that used to bring, anytime there's holidays or whatever, she'd bring, give us cards and these little gift things, and I thought, gosh, I never see cards like that. You know, in the card shop. And then she told me about Stampin' Up. I had no idea. I'd never even heard of Stampin' Up. And so I went over to her house, and she showed me, she had this big room, one of the bedrooms that was a craft room, and oh my gosh. So I had bought a couple of stamps from her, and then I found a lady who taught, and I started doing a monthly class, and you paid $25 to be in that group. And after about 8 months, I said, well, you know, this is kind of dumb. If I'm going to spend $25 a month, you know, order $25, then I'm going to join and do it for a discount. And that's what I did. Never had any idea I was going to do this, you know, to teach classes. Well, I did a couple of classes with some friends early on, you know, holiday. I think we did a holiday class and some other class. I think we did I don't know what we did, but anyways. And then we moved from Virginia Beach to the Villages 10 years ago. And of course, I didn't know anybody, and I was working, so I thought, well, what a great way. They had all the rec centers, and you could go in and teach classes. So I signed up to teach at one of the classes rec centers twice a month. And then I evolved that into another rec center. So I did 2 rec centers twice a month on different days. And I met a lot of great people, and I enjoyed it. I love teaching, and I don't call it teaching. It's sharing. Well, it is teaching, but it's sharing. And I just love doing that. And all the personality, you know, when you take personality test things when you're working, and it tells you what type of job you should be in, every one of the ones told me that I should be in the teaching field, which is really strange. But I guess I was, because I was in upper management when I was in banking, and then I got tired of that and went into mortgage financing. So I only had to worry about myself, not everybody else. But anyways, but that's how I got started doing this, and I just absolutely love it. And now I'm just teaching online. I'm going to try, since we've now moved to Fort Myers, they have classes that you have to go through their learning center or whatever. And in order for me to teach classes here, I think if they approve me, I can do it and then charge for the classes. Otherwise, they don't let you just have a free class, come to my house type thing. So, but it's okay. Thank you. I'm a talker. I tell you what, hi. Let me go back 1 second. You're in Dallas and it's 55 degrees. I would never thought Dallas would be that cold, but I haven't been to Texas since I left in July of 2000. So, but anyways, but yeah, so I've never known a stranger. I'll talk to anybody. My husband is completely opposite. He could live in a little box and not talk to anybody and he'd be fine. So when we're out, I'm always stopping and talking to people and he's like, trying to get me to come on. And he's standing behind the person that I'm talking to and he's waving his arms and I'm waving my arms telling him to go the other way. It's just crazy, but I just love it. And in this community that we live in, it's an over 60, it's a life care community. So obviously people are 60 and older. And, I just talk to everybody. You can learn a lot. Hi, Marcia. You can learn a lot from folks. And last night we went to see Lori Morgan. They had her at an outdoor, like an amphitheater here in Fort Myers. And it was a small venue, but it was really nice. And there was these two guys sitting behind me, and they were just having a good time. So I'm sitting there talking to them. My husband's just shaking his head because, it's just the way it is. So. Hello from Maryland, Miss Patty. Hi, hello from Idaho. It's got to be Linda, I'm sure. Okay, well, it looks like everybody's coming on in at 7:06. So that was my brief story for those that heard the beginning of my story, but the ones that just came on have heard this before. But if you're new to my channel, and if you're not, welcome, and I appreciate you being here because I love what I'm doing. And please share these videos if you don't mind. And also we're streaming on YouTube, just to let you know that as well. If you haven't been to my YouTube channel, it's Shall We Stamp. Everything that I have is all branded Shall We Stamp. So you can go look at videos that I've done. I don't post the videos as often as I should, so that's my fault. But there's a lot of videos on there. Back when I didn't know what I was doing and the camera was upside down, well, it's like I am today. I still don't know what I've been doing. But anyways, it's all about having fun, and I'm right there to have fun with everybody else. So, but if you don't mind sharing, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, tonight, we are going to do gift bags, and some of you probably know how to make these, but I want to make sure for those that maybe don't, with the holidays fast approaching, these are going to be some quick, easy ways. We're going to do 3 different sizes, 3 easy ways that you can make gift bags. So if you've got somebody that's coming over and you've got about 10 minutes, you can slap a bag together pretty quickly. So that's what we're going to do. I have fun talking. We'd have fun talking, love talking to people too. All right, who wrote that? Is it Karen Joe? I think we're drawn, in my opinion, I think we're drawn to people who we are like. I think that's just my opinion. I think for the most part. And I just like people. Most people. If you're on my newsletter list, you would have saw my little rant that I put. I love people, but I don't like people that are hateful. I'm having issues with what's going on in the world right now, and it just drives me crazy. As Rodney King would say, can we all just get along? I just truly believe that if everybody would just leave everybody alone, let them be who they are, the world would be a much happier place. So that's enough of my rant again. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera down, and I'm going to show you my usual tutorial bundle. We've got December's is coming out. I should receive that probably the first, probably around the 4th or the 5th of the month. But this particular bundle, there's 47, I think I said that before, 47 tutorials that are designed by myself and obviously 46 other demonstrators. We all participate in this. The lady that runs it is very strict, and we have certain guidelines. And let me tell you, if you don't follow the guidelines, she's emailing you, telling you to get your act together. But there's a lot of great inspiration here. This particular one is a lot of holiday cards, so it gives you a lot of ideas. So if you're spending $50 in my online store, then you would get this emailed to you, obviously as a thank you gift from me, and it's free of charge. So there you go. So if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love you to work with me if I can. If you've got a demonstrator, then you would order from your demonstrator or do whatever you feel doing. I know the world would be a better place, would it not, if everybody just let everybody be who they want to be? Love who you want to love, be who you are, and just let everybody be, and we'd be getting along so much better. Anyways, okay, so with that being said, those of you that did not attend my celebration anticipation first class that we did this past Saturday, where we were going to stamp together, But everybody that came, and I sent out directions, I sent out measurements, and then the idea was for us to create cards using those measurements and see how different they are. And most everybody wanted to watch me create, and they were going to do theirs later and post. And several people did, and thank you for those that did. And I think what we'll have to do going forward is just post on the page, and we'll just have to do a hashtag, creation anticipation or something. And we'll just, if I can find them, then I'll repost them to the top of the page. But I just want to show those that didn't make it what you missed out on. So these are the cards that I made 2 of one, but I wanted to show you the direction. Now this particular one, they had to do 2 pieces of designer paper. That one was 1.5, and I think the other one was 1 1/4, if I'm not mistaken. Or I'm sorry, yeah, 1.5 and whatever. And they were both 4 inches, but I cut mine into banners. And then the idea was to have a sentiment or a design here and the sentiment to go down here. So this was the first one of the cards, but then I did a second one with the same stuff, but I just turned it into the horizontal. So you can see how different it is using the designer paper, and then if it's vertical or horizontal, right? And then this was the second one that we did, and this one was stating to use a background piece of cardstock, a 1.5 inch by 4 designer paper, and then a sentiment, and then some pictures or whatever. And so that's the design that I came up with. And then most people wanted to do maybe like a sketch. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll do a sketch once, and then the next time we'll do like the instructions like I did before. So, in the next one, and I'll send this out too, will be on December 10th at the same time, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I want to do it before the holidays and everybody got crazy busy, and then we'll wait until the first of the year, and we'll set a schedule. Okay. All right. Now, so I am going to show you, and here's the funny thing, you guys. I was looking all over trying to find 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper that I had that matched, right? So I had a hard time because I buy the paper and then I do paper shares and I cut them in 6 by 12. So I have a few sheets of 6 by 12, but I didn't have that much of 12 by 12s. So I took some of the retired paper and I made 2 of the small ones, but we're going to make them again. But I want to show you, this is this one is a 10 by 10. You're going to use 10 by 10, 2 pieces of cardstock, and we're going to make 3 of them tonight. And some of you probably know how to do this. And then I added some ribbon as a handle. And if you want it, and I know it's kind of hard, if you want it as a regular bag, but if you want it pushed in, you can push it here and then kind of make it like a gusset bag. And you could, let me get into the camera, and then you could attach something here or whatever. So that's the 10 by 10, which means it's 5 inches this way. But it's pretty tall, right? And then the smaller one, I didn't make a big one because I only have 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper that's not retired. So this is this is an 8 by 8. So this means your bag is 4 inches wide, and of course it's 2 inches this way and 5 inches high. So that's a little small bag, and you can do the same thing. You can just kind of tuck it in. You can punch holes and have your ribbon and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to do this evening. So we're going to make, and now the one I'm getting ready to show you is one where we're going to also make a card, a coordinating card that goes with this particular one, okay? So this is the only paper, the Hues of Happiness, and I just saw that this is not in stock right now, so I guess it's been sold out, I don't know, during the our sale. So you're going to use 2 sheets that are the same, okay? And then we're going to start doing our scoring. So let me bring in, I'm going to try to do these both together, so I'll have to push down a little bit harder on my paper trimmer. So let me go ahead and open this up. Now, are y'all familiar? Have you all made the bags, the 12 by 12 bags with your coordinating card on it? Let me know if you have. All right, so hopefully, I might have to raise the camera up because we might not have, let's see if I can get in here. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can just raise the whole piece up. Hang on 1 minute. So let's get it up so we're not so close. Hang on a second. Now I've got it like Hercules, tighten it up. Okay, hang on. I'm going to bring this up a little. Hang on. Don't mean to be jerking it around. Hold on a second. maybe that'll help. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Let me twist it down a little bit. Move this over here. I think that'll work. Okay. All right, this is 12 by 12. So I've got 2 sheets together. You want to make sure you've got your back sides, you know, coordinating, because there's going to be a top and a bottom to this, all right? So I am going to, now I think personally, see, you got to look at this. It's really strange, right? See, when I look at this, obviously there's 3 columns, right? But if I turn the paper, I tend to think that this looks more like a top. That's just me. So I don't know if I should do it this way so we get all of the colors, or do it this way where we'll still have all of the colors, and then this is going to fold over and it's going to be a purple. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, well, I'm going with that. So all right. Okay, so good. Here we go. All right, now on the 12 by 12, you need 2 of these 12 by 12 sheets of paper. And we are going to score, and I'm hoping I can do this at once on my paper trimmer. All right, excuse me. So whatever end you want to be the top, which I want this one to be my top, right? So I'm gonna turn this sideways. I'm gonna score my top first, because that way I don't want to get confused. So my top is gonna be at 1.5. Actually, hang on, I can turn it this way. That'll make it easier for me on the paper. All right, so I'm gonna make the top 1.5. So I'm gonna move this over to the edge of our paper trimmer, and that's 1.5 inches, okay? So I'm gonna score, just keep our fingers crossed that I get through both papers, all right? All right, so that's our top, and you'll see what we're gonna do here in just a minute. Now you're gonna turn it, and it doesn't matter which way. You're gonna come over, and then all 3 sides, we're now gonna score at 3 inches, okay? So this is for the 12 by 12. This is for the large bag. So all 3 sides are going to be 3 inches, and the top is, you can make it 1.5, you can make it 1 inch. I'm doing 1.5 because I wanted it to be a little bit longer, okay? All right, so I've got this side. Now we're going to just turn it and do the bottom. So, whoops, I got to flip it this way. Sorry, guys. I know it's a lot of paper flapping around your face. So we're going to line this one up. Hang on, I just got my paper all boogered up. All right, so we're going to line this one up at 3. Right, so we're going to do 3 inches. So we're going to score that 3 inches. I'm pushing down a little bit harder than normal because I want to try to get through the 2 sheets, make sure I can feel it. I may have to go back, but we'll see. And then the last one we're going to do, see, I feel my paper. Where's my 3 inches? I got 1 here, 1 there. I think it's this one. Hang on, I don't think I've done this side yet. All right, and then we're going to turn this one in and do this side. Normally, I would do this one at a time, but since I want to try to get 3 bags done, I'm trying to do it all at once so that we're not here all night. Okay, and then we'll do this one at 3 inches as well. Okay. All right, so let's take this. I'm going to move the trimmer out of the way because we don't need that just now. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold, let's fold all of ours. Now, the 1 inch piece that we did, the 1 1/4, I'm sorry, 1.5, we're going to fold that over because that's going to be the outside of our bag, right? So I'm going to fold this one over too. So give me a second. I know I've got papers flopping all over. All right, so I'm going to come back with my bone folder. All right, so let's take one piece at a time. Now this is going to be the outside of our bag, right? So I'm going to fold all of my score lines first of all before I start doing anything. I've got a piece of hangnail there, skin there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fold all of our score lines. And I'll come back with the bone folder, but I want to get this all folded first, okay? Now, this is a good size bag. I mean, you actually could put a shirt or something like that in here. Now, if you put something heavy, you might want to maybe reinforce, put a little piece of cardstock in the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to fold these as well. Sorry, I'm going to flip this back over. And then we're going to glue down. See, once you get that score in there, you can feel it, right? Of where you need to fold it. So, and then we'll come back and do a good burnish. All right, so this is, I mean, really, these are really easy to do. All right, so we'll do that. Now, so let's go back to our, this part here, the top of our bag. We're gonna adhere this and we're gonna fold that down, okay? Woo, that's some wild color here, so I'm gonna have to be careful that I don't put adhesive on part of the paper that's going to fold over. And you can use any kind of adhesive you want. I'm using our seal. I would probably recommend the seal or tear and tape, whatever. You can do your liquid glue, but you want to make sure it's something that's going to hold it together, okay? Now, we want to go back, since I folded this over, and then I'm going to make sure that this, we're going to do one at a time. We're going to make sure that this piece is burnished really well, okay? And then we're going to come and do the same thing on this side. And we want to make sure it's lined up, because that's going to be the top of our bag. So I'm going to come in here and just do a good thing. All right, now on this piece, so let's just say this is going to be our first piece that we're going to work with. On this one, I'm going to remove both of these corners right here, okay? All right, so we're going to cut out these two corners because we don't want these guys. We're going to get rid of these. All right. This is probably a good idea if you have bigger scissors than the snips, but this is what I got because I'm not using my ribbon scissors. And it might be easier. Sometimes you might have to turn it over depending on the pattern just so that you can see what your score lines are. All right, so we're going to cut these two off. And he's going to go... Oh, you know what? I just realized something. I think I just screwed up. Oh, my God, I did. But that's okay. Well, I just messed up. I knew there was a reason I shouldn't have done both of these together. Because we've got, this one has to be 8 by 12. Let's see. You know what? I think I might have messed this up. Let's see. You know what? It should be 8 by 12, but you know what? I'm going to leave it because I think we can make this work. All right. Just bear with me. We're going to make this one work. All right. So I messed up. You should have done, because of what looking at my notes, the second one should be cut at 8 by 12. So if I cut this down to 8, then that messes up my score lines, right? Because my 8 inches is going to make it, and it's still going to make it shorter, but I think I can make it work with both. I'll cut another piece just to show you, but I think this one, if I cut these corners, I think it's still going to work, because I think I used to do it this way when I first did it, and then somebody came up with the bright idea to cut the corners off and to cut the paper down a size. So just work with me. But before, and if we don't have time tonight, because I do want to show you how to do the other two little bags. If we don't have time tonight, I'll just do a quick, I'll just whip out a piece of paper and show you. All right, so let's just leave it like that. We're going to go like this. So if we had cut this down, it would just make it a lot easier to slide these two together. That's the only difference. But you know what? It's going to work, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to line this up here, and then this is going to come up. Can you see? Then this flap is going to come over. So we'll put it on the inside of the card. So this is going to come in like this. We'll put that one there. This flap is going to come up. Well, no, it isn't. I should have done it the other way. Do you know what? I think it's going to work. I think I'm just going to cut that off, because that's going to fold over. That's what we're going to do. No, hang on a minute. Let me think about this. I just screwed this up. Hang on. I think I should have cut my other way, because I cut my paper wrong. Lord have mercy. Well, you know what? Let me just, let me grab another piece of paper that doesn't look like it, but we'll try and see. Let me see if I don't have any other, hang on a minute. Let me grab a piece. I think I've got one that's one by itself, so you'll get the gist of it if it's not an 8 by 12. Hang on. Actually, I lied. I do have 2 more pieces. I lied. I have 2 more pieces. I told a fib. Okay, sorry guys. Let's start all over. We'll do this real quick. I know, see, I told you I make mistakes all the time. If I would have listened to myself and said, do not try to do 2 at 1, I would have known better. All right, so here we go. We're going to make this 1.5. This is our first 12 by 12, okay? So first one, 12 by 12. We're going to score this at 1 and, what did I say, 1 1/4? 1.5. So this is going to be 1.5. Sorry about that. You might not get to all the bags. All right, so 1.5. There we go. And then we're going to do 3 inches on, so this is going to be my top. And then we're going to do 3 inches on all 4 sides. See, I'm such an idiot sometimes, but you know what? I get excited because I just love doing all this stuff, and then I get excited and not paying attention. And these are like really busy pattern to be working with, you know what I mean? All right, that's our top, so let me just make a little niche. All right, we don't want to do that. Sorry about that. I know it's a comedy. I'm telling you, anytime you come to my channel and watch me, it's a comedy hour because you never know what's going to happen. You never know. It's always something fun. Because she's, you know, and I'll be the first one to tell you I do goofy stuff. I don't have a problem with telling you that I messed up. Okay, there's our first page. All right. Oh, Lordy. Okay, now this one, let me see which one. Hang on. Let me fold over my top so I know which one is my top. So at least our tops will coordinate. Hang on. I'm trying to feel the paper here. What did I say? That's a 3. Hang on. That's a 3. Oh, here we go. All right, let me move this out of the way for 1 second. All right, so we're going to have these wild colors here. This is going to be the top of our paper. But this will still be pretty. Not as pretty as what my other one was going to look like, but that's all right. Okay, so now we know that's the top. So I have to look at my paper and make sure I do the same. All right, so we're going to have it this way. Okie doke. Now we are going to cut this down to 8 inches by 12. So we're going to go ahead and take, make this 8 inches. Hang on, let me move my stuff over. All right, so we're going to cut this down to 8 inches. Oh, it's going to cut off all my flowers, isn't it? All right, let's do this. Let's cut off 2 on this side. Right? And then let's flip it around, and we'll cut 2 off of this side. Isn't that what we want to do? Yeah. No, we're going to do it this way. Where did I just cut those from? The pink. Okay, so we want to do the purple. Yeah. So, and we're going to take 2 inches off this side. That way, that gives us our 8, right? So we take 2 inches and 2 is 4. So we are at, what are we at now? Yep, we are at 10 inches. So we're going to take 2 more off, and that will get us where we need to be. All right, so the only reason I'm cutting 2 on each side is because I didn't want to lose all of the colors. If you have a piece of paper or your pattern paper is all the same, then you don't have to worry about, just take 4 inches off, okay? All right, so we've got 8 by 12, right? So let's line this up, and we are at 8 inches. Hallelujah, got that part right. But this is what messes up my card now. See, this is what I should have used for my card. So we'll just go with it. All right, so now we're at 8 inches. So now we're going to score. We're going to do 3 sides at 1 inch, and then the bottom is going to be at 3 inches. So my top is that multicolored. So I guess it really, let's see which direction. We're going to turn it this way. So that's my top. So this would be my bottom. So I want my bottom to be at 3 inches. So let's turn it this way. Are y'all having fun yet? Are you laughing because I've got everything going every which way and the colors are flying all around? All right, so the second piece, you're going to do 3 inches on the bottom, and then we're going to turn them, and then we're going to score 1 inch on each side. Okay, so we're going to line it up right here on our paper trimmer. Lines up 1 inch right here on this side, so that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do 1 inch here. All right, and then we're going to come here, and we're going to do 1 inch here. So we're going to line this one up at the 1 inch mark. I tell you what, you know, I know what I'm doing, but when I get on here, I just go kind of loopy, and then we're going to do 1 inch here. So the first one, you're going to do the 1 inch on the top, and then 3 inches all the way around. And this one, 8 by 12, you're going to do 1 at 3 inches, and then 1 inch all the way around. And I can type, I can write this down and put it out there for y'all in case you forget. Okay, so we're going to fold this over. All right, and then we are going to fold these sides up backwards. I'm going to fold that in, and we're going to fold this in. All right, and then this is the bottom that we're going to fold up. Okay, so, and then we've got this, let me go ahead and fold this one, and then we'll cut. All right, so this is our top, and then these are going to be the inside. So I'm just going to undo so we can fold this over. And then we'll fold this over. This is like a wild looking paper, isn't it? Okay. And then we're going to fold this in. You got all the folding down, right? Oh my goodness. Now I'm having hot flashes. Lord have mercy. Okay. All right. So on this one, we know this is going to be the top, right? So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Let's try this again. So we'll go ahead and add some adhesive here. And I'm using my seal again. All right, so we're going to fold that down. And then we're going to go back and burnish those, again, the pieces, because we've got the extra cardstock on top. So we just want to line it up and then just go through it. Give it a good burnish right here. And do the same thing on this one. See, I do know what I'm supposed to do, but sometimes I just lose myself in it. Okay, now we can, let's see. All right, so this is the 12 by 12 page, and we've folded the one side over. All right, so now we're going to cut our corners up to the score line. So these are what we're going to cut up to the score line, okay? So I'm going to do it this way because I can see this better than if I was looking at those pretty little flowers. All right, so we're going to snip those up there. And we've got this one right here. So we're going to snip this one. Don't you just love coming here on Tuesday nights and it's a comedy hour? Now, this one I may trim up a little bit because it might be a little bit off. Okay, so we've got our top piece folded over. We've got our flaps cut up, and then we have this little dude right here hanging out, okay? Now, this guy, oh, Lord. All right, now this one, we're going to glue our top down just like we did the other guy. So let's go ahead and do that, because this is going to be the our little flappy-doo. So let's put some adhesive on this. And since I screwed up on the piece, but I'll show you how you make the card using that other paper, just so you'll understand what I did, or what I should have done. All right, so now this one is the one that we want to take off these 4 little tiny corners right here, okay? So we're going to remove these little corner flaps. They're not that big. So we're going to take these off right here because it's only 1 inch, right? And so what I did when I cut the 4 inches off, that's the piece that you would use for your card. So I'll just cut a piece from the other paper, even though it's not going to coordinate. I'll just show you how it's going to look. And I've got the hanger. The hanger and everything will go with this paper. I mean, with the card. It's just the bag, I mean, but the card won't. But that's all right. You get the gist of it. Okay. So I've got those cut off. Now, if it's a little off, just trim them up, okay? So those are scraps. All right. Now we're moving along. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's fold this guy over and burnish him too, because we haven't done that yet. So let's do that. So it's only taken me like 20 minutes to do this, right? Because I've been talking and making mistakes. Okay. Yay! All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this bag, this one here, and we're going to put adhesive on this flap. And we're going to lay it down here. I'm sorry, we're going to lay this one on here because we've got the flaps. Let me get my paper out of the way. And this is how it's going to work. These are going to come up, and they're going to get in here like that. Actually, we'll do it this way because this way it will help hold this in. So we're going to lay it down this way. So let's say that's glued. Then we're going to bring this up. This is going to slide over. Now, if you don't want this showing in the bottom, you can tuck it under the other way. And then this is going to fold up like that, okay? Does that make sense? All right, so the one that has the flap by itself, we're going to lay it on top of this one. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. So we're going to add our adhesive. You can use tear and tape also. And I just want to make sure I go around all the edges because I want it to hold in place, okay? So we're going to lay this down. So you want to line it up. Can you all see? We want to line this up with our flap right here and get it all tucked in so it's all in the right spot. Hang on a minute, this piece right here. That's the only thing about the seal is once it goes down, okay, there we go. All right, so we've got that. So we're gonna lay him down, all right, and we're gonna make sure that, so that's our bottom, okay? Now we're gonna take these and we're gonna tuck these over. Actually, I should have put them under, but that's all right. So we're gonna line this up, and you wanna make sure it's all, now this one might be a little bit off a little bit because of the way I cut the flaps, but we can make it work. Okay, so we're gonna add adhesive like that, okay? And then this is gonna go on the outside of the bag. Or you can tuck it on the inside if you wanted to do it that way. We could do it, and we wanna have this inside, and then this will go on, and this will be the back of the bag, okay? So that's how it's gonna look, but it's gonna look a little weird because we got these flowers and everything, okay? Now my bag, it looks like it's off as far as my sizing, so I wonder if I cut this wrong. Ha! All right, so let's see. Let's pull that one up here, and this is gonna go on the outside, and then we're gonna push this one on the outside, and somehow I did not cut this right because look, this one's taller, so I'm not sure what I did with that one, so I screwed this up completely. One side is right, but the other side isn't. And that, no, this side is really, oh, you know what I did? I folded this down on the, well, that's not right, because that doesn't even match. I've got these backwards. I am completely messed up. I have no idea what I did. All right, we're gonna forget this one. Let's move on to the next one. I still was trying to figure out how I can make this one work since I screwed up. Hang on, let me look at this. I know I'm wasting y'all's time, but now I'm determined to get this thing done right. Are y'all drinking yet? Oh my God, this will make you want to drink, won't it? What the? I know Patty probably knows what I'm doing wrong. Let me put these little, just give me a second. This is really killing me because I did these other two in the exact same thing. They're just a smaller scale. Oh my God, it's driving me crazy. What am I doing wrong, Patty? I know this is right because this has to go in there and then these guys come up. And this one flaps over. All right, hang on. We might be able to get this thing to work. Hold up. I am determined, you guys. I am sorry. If you're new to my channel, this happens, but not quite this bad. All right, hold on, because we're going to make this thing work. If I screw this thing up. All right. And then this is going to go, okay, that's right. This is how I used to do it because I had to tuck this little guy under here. All right, we're going to go like that. Look at that. All right, we're going to make this one work. Okay, we got it. I got it. No worries. We're going to make this one work. Sorry I wasted your time. Let's just glue this one down. If this one doesn't work, we're going to move on to the smaller ones, and then I will do another video, and I'll just use some retired paper. That's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to pull these flaps up because they're going to go inside. I'm going to hook this onto here. That part we know is right, okay? So we're going to put this little guy right on top of this and lay it down. Okay, now, let's glue this guy down. We got to glue the top down. I'm going to start drinking when I get off this thing. Let me tell you what, I got to go home. I'm not even at home. I'm in the studio. If I had some alcohol here, I'd probably have a drink. It's all right. We're going to get to it. It's no biggie. All right, let me just fold this guy real quick since I didn't do that. See, we're getting the hang of it, and I'll walk you back through the steps. Okay. This is not the 8 by, these are the two 12 by 12s, okay? So we've got them cut. We cut off the two flaps on one of the pieces. The other piece, we left the flaps, right? We've glued this down. Now we're going to pull these flaps in, and we're going to put some adhesive on them, and we're going to hold them, that's going to hold them in place. Now, if these are in the way of the fold, just trim them. So I'm going to just do a little trim just to be on the safe side. This is going to be inside the bag, so no one's going to really see it unless they really scrutinize your bag, okay? So I just want to make sure that this will fold up and it's not going to interfere with the fold of my bag. I'm only taking off like maybe a 1/16 of an inch, if that, okay? And anyways, okay. All right, so we're gonna glue these down, And then these are going to come up and we're going to make our bag. All right, so let's go ahead and put some glue on this. Oh, I was so excited about making this bag, thinking, oh my God, this is going to be so easy. And then I get over here and I'm like, what in the wild world of sports are you doing? And let me put some adhesive on this one. Oh, you got to laugh at yourself. Life is too short not to laugh, you know? Can't get stressed out over crap like this. Okay, let me put this there so he doesn't stick. All right, so I'm going to line up the edges of the bag. Right on the edge of the bag right there. Now you'll see, if you can see doing it. I'm going to line it up just like that. Can you see the camera? Okay, so we're going to make sure our edges are lined up. Make sure our bag is working properly. All right, so we got that down there. Okay, now we're going to pull this up. Now you could just bring this over, which is what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to bring this over and we're going to make this the front of our bag. So this piece here in the back is going to be the back side. See, that wasn't too hard. So with that being said, we're going to put some adhesive on here and we're going to go ahead and put this boy together. All right, and I'm just going to go right near this. I'm just going to put a little bit down the side, and I'll put some here. Some here. See, I knew I could figure it out. That's what happens when you're, no, I shouldn't say when you're blonde, because that's not nice. All right, so we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it up and we're going to make sure before I put anything down, I don't want that piece to stick, that we get our bottom lined up first, right? We want to make sure all of our edges are lined up and squared. Can you see that? And then I'm just going to walk it down the bag, okay? And then we've got that part, and I'll come back and adhere it in just a minute. I don't want this guy. And we're going to do the same thing here. See, I knew what I was doing. This is the old way that I used to do it. I watched another video and saw where they cut that one down, which is fine. It gives you the ability to make that card. And we'll do that. I'll just show you. I don't have any more of this paper, but we'll cut a piece off and I'll show you how it works. All right, so there's our bag after we've only watched it forever. I'm not painfully paying attention. I'm not fully paying attention to doing cross stitch at the same time. You'll get it in the end and then you'll need a margarita. Oh, thanks, Patty. You got that right. I'm going to tell Chuck to get one ready when I get home. I'm laughing just being here. Well, you know what? We need a good laugh. I'm glad I could do that for you. So after I've showed you that, now the inside, you could always put something, because look in the inside, right? You can see the little squares. But who's going to notice that, right? Okay, so you can push it in, like I said, but we're going to poke holes in this, and we're gonna still make the card. And I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to cut a piece of 4 by 12 piece of paper somewhere, and we'll make a card. I'll just show you how it works. Okay. All right. So we're going to take, now these are retired. If you want to poke holes in it and put a handle, you can. I'm not going to do a handle on this one, but just poke a hole and pull your ribbon through and tie a knot, and you can either glue them down or cover it with a piece of paper. Okay. So, but this one we're going to make this where we can hang a card. Okay. So this is a piece of gorgeous grape, and this is cut at hang on, I'll tell you. I think it's 2. I know it's okay. So it's 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to take a piece of the same color cardstock. This is going to be your base of the card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, right? That's our base. And then, of course, you're going to have your white piece so you can write your message. Okay, now the whole idea of this, let me see if I can find a scrap that I use for another piece. Hang on a second. Give me 1 minute. I cut a piece off. Here we go. Is this the 4 inches? Let me make sure. That's 3 1/2. It should be 4 inches. Hold on. All right. Well, let's just pretend this is 4 inches. Okay, and just pretend it matches. Because this is not going to work because it's 3. But you'll get the idea. Okay. All right. So just pretend this is 4 inches. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here, and you're going to use a now this is a retired label punch, but any kind of punch that you have that will make you can do a straight line. So what we're going to do is take this and push it all the way in to where it won't go any further, okay? And then just start with the edge of the paper right on the edge, because that gives you a little bit, maybe a ½ inch. So we're going to hold it down, make sure it's in place, and I've got room, and then I'm going to cut. So this is going to be our slot where we hang our card. So then what we'll do, again, I'm just going to hold this down and punch again to make my little slot, and then I'm going to move this over just a little bit more, not a lot, because I don't want to go off the thing. Okay, well, crud. I didn't have that one down all the way. Hang on. Hold up. Hold up, hold up. We got to get that one to even out like the rest of them. I didn't have it pushed all the way. Hopefully that works. Let me fix this one. I didn't have that one pushed down all the way either, did I? All right. Well, that looks ugly. But you get the... Nah, I don't want to do that. Hang on. Let me get another piece of paper, because that's going to drive me crazy. Hold up. We're going to get one card done tonight. All right. We're going to do this. Hang on. Let me get my paper cutter out. We're going to trim this little guy up. I tell you. Always something. All right. Get my paper. All right, so we're going to do 2 1/4 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and this should be 5 1/4. Okay, let's see if we can do this again without it being all wonky looking. And get it up. Man, it's gonna be 8 o'clock and I haven't done anything yet. Patty, text my husband, tell him get me a cocktail right now. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna hold it in place because I moved it. So we're gonna hold it before we punch. And normally, if you do this the right way, hold it in place and punch, you're not gonna have it getting all whacked out. And then we're gonna push it down again, make sure it's in place. I don't want that to come off the side. Now see, this one's doing the same thing. I think it's because of that angle. I should have used a different one. But I've sold it, so I don't even have the other punch. All right, so what you're going to do is you would take, if this was your 4 your 4-inch piece by 12 of cardstock, you're going to lay that on, this is going to be the hanger. So this thing's going to hang right here. You're going to adhere this to here on the bag, right? And then you would take your designer paper, and let's just say, let me just cut this down, and then you'll see. Normally, you're going to have 4 inches here. This is going to be on here. If this is the 4-inch, this is 5 1/4. So that's going to be your card, and then your inside piece, and then you're going to hang it. This is going to be glued down at the top, and then you're just going to slide that through, and it's going to hang on the card. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to do another video so that you can see how this is supposed to be done. But that's the start of the big bag. So I will do another video probably tomorrow. Well, yeah, because I can find some paper, retired paper. I think I have some pieces that are retired. And we'll make another one, and I'll do it the right way. See all the drinking glasses. Thank you, guys. All right, let's see. All right, let's go with the next one. Let's do a 10 by 10. Let's see if we can do this one without messing up. All right, this is one of the pieces, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is retired. Is it? I can't remember. No, it's not. I can't remember. But anyways, let's try it. Let's try and do another one. Okay, this is a 10 by 10. Let's see if we can get this straight. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. So this one, we're going to score at 2 1/2 inches for our top. And then we're going to do, 2 1/2 inches on all 3 sides. And then we're going to do our top at 1 1/4. Or we could do 1 inch. It doesn't matter. Let's do 1 1/4. All right, so I don't think it matters. I think I want this to be the top because of the stripes, so that it goes, when you fold it over, it's going to go down, because I want this to be the outside of my bag, okay? So let's try this again. This is the smaller version. So this is 10 inches by 10 inches. Okay. Now I'm going to score. This is my top. on both of my card. The back side of the bag doesn't matter which direction, but I want my lines to go down. So we're going to score the top at 1 1/4. So I'm going to bring this over right to that 1 1/4 mark right here. Now, just bear with me because we will get one of these bags done and it's going to be right. Okay. All right. So 1 1/4, we're going to score. I'm going to push a little bit harder because I'm doing the 2 pieces. All right. Now we're going to turn and we're going to do all 3 sides at 2 1/2 inches. Okay. So we're going to come over here and do 2 1/2. And this is, this paper, this will make you go a little crazy, won't it? 2 1/2 here. All right. And then we're going to turn and keep doing 2 1/2 inches. Keep our papers together. So we got 2 1/2. Whoops, let me get my paper. If you guys are new here, I'm normally not this crazy, but apparently I am tonight. 2 1/2. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to do 2 1/2 inches. And then I think we got one more side that we haven't scored. Let's see, we've got one there, and we have one there. I know there's got to be another 2 1/2 somewhere. Oh, there's one. So I haven't done this side. Probably should do the papers individually and make it a lot easier for the scoring to go through, unless you've got a really good score. But I'm afraid to push so hard that I'm afraid it's going to rip the paper, you know. Okay. All right, so let's move this guy out of the way. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to take my one piece. I'm going to find my front, my top, which is the one right here. All right, so we're going to fold this one over. All right, and then we're going to fold our 2 1/2 inch sides, 2 1/2 inch sides this way, because this is, I want that to be the outside of my bag. All right, so 2 1/2 inches here. All right, and then this one. Okay, let me fold the other one. So let's get this one folded. So here is my 1 1/4 piece. And then these are the 2 1/2. Okay. Get that all, make sure that's all even. Let me fold this one in. Find the score line. This one you can tell it didn't go through very well, but we'll get it. There we go. Okay. And then we've got the bottom piece right here that we're going to want to fold up. And I get my score lines. There we go. If anybody lives near the Fort Myers area, you're more than welcome if you want to get together. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So let me go back and burnish these ones as well, and then we're going to do the process on this bag a little differently. All right, so we're going to start with this one. Now, on one of the bags, of course, we're going to fold this one over, right? So let's go ahead and glue this down. I think I need like a camera that sits up really high, especially when you're doing big pieces like this, right? All right, so use the seal. We're going to go ahead and lay that down and then just fold again and do a nice little burnish there. Just to make sure our bag's going to be nice and closed tightly. And do that and then go back through here. Okay, so now we're going to remove the corners on one piece. I knew there was some way we were going to move corners, right? All right, so we're going to take the corners off of this one because that's what it says to do. So I'm going to cut up on this side because I can see it better than the stripes. So let me get my vision and see. Here we go. We're going to take that. We're going to cut this one off because that's what it says to do. That's what my notes say. And I just, let me trim this a little bit more because I just cut a little bit off on the score line. You know how that happens. All right, and then we're going to take this corner off as well. Okay. And then the way that we're going to make this one, the 4-inch one, the 8x8, you do the same thing. So if time is of an essence and everybody needs to go, then that's fine. You'll just do the same thing, but just you'll use an 8x8 piece, and I'll give you the directions for that as well. Okay, so this is the piece where we've cut off the corners, right? All right, so now the second piece we're going to take, and we're going to fold our flap down for the top of the bag again. This part we all know how to do, right? Fold the flap down, fold the flap down, get my adhesive, and let me make sure I got it there. I think I messed up on that part. Yeah, we got it. Okay. All right, so we're going to fold our little flap, and this is a 1 1/4. You could do 1 inch if you don't want 1 1/4. That would make your bag, you know, 1/4 inch higher, and it wouldn't give it as much on here as far as the bag, but it's up to you, however you want to do that. Okay, now this one, we're going to cut the flaps from the side, so we're going to cut them in this way, not up. We're going to cut them sideways. So you're going to cut them at a horizontal. And again, I'm going to turn them this way so it's easier for me to see the score line to cut. Okay, so we're just going to cut across like this. Okay, and do the same thing on this side. And I'm just folding it so that I can see that score line. I know y'all can't see it because it's hard for me to see as well. And I have my glasses on. Okay. Okay, so we've got our flaps. Okie dokie. Now, this is how this will work. You see where I'm going with this? Now, this one, I need to cut a little bit more because that's going to be in the way of us trying to fold. And I can see I was off the score line just a little bit, so I'm just going to come back and trim that up just to make sure that it will lay flat. And sometimes you just have to do that. Well, if I can get the piece off. Okay. So I want to make sure that when this goes up, that this is not going to be in the way. And I don't know how, I obviously don't know how to cut very straight, do I? Okay, I think that's good. All right, so now what we're going to do, these are the ones that are going to go upwards, and this one is going to be flat, okay? So we're going to lay the bottoms together and then fold the flaps in. So I would recommend that we do this, and then the flaps can go in this way, and they're going to come up like this. They're going to fold in like we did on the other bag. So it's going to go like that, but they're going to be up on the top, on the side of the bag instead of the bottom of the bag. Does that make sense? So we're going to fold that in, and then we will fold this up just like we did the other one and have them adhere together, and we've got our bag, okay? So we're going to put our adhesive on the back of this one. Because see, if you do it this way, you don't have anything. You can do it like that, but look, when you do it that way, let's just say we're holding that together. You could do it like that if you wanted, but I think this helps to hold it better when you do it this way. All right, so put your adhesive on the flap. And I don't know what this paper is, and I apologize. I think it's one that I think this is current, but to be honest with you, I honestly don't remember. So, and this is really busy with these stripes. I don't think I would do this again, that's for sure. Because trying to line this stuff up is enough to drive you crazy. So I can see my score line. So I'm going to lay this right here within my score line. And try to get it as close to it as I can. So our bag is not, hang on a minute, let's see if I can lift this up, because it's off just a tad. Hold on, do not stick, do not stick, do not stick. This is the only bad thing about using your seal, because once it sticks, if you don't grab it quick enough, it's not gonna let you. Okay, hang on. All right, I just wanna make sure I get my, I want the, you could put your silicone mat underneath so you don't have what I'm doing, because I don't want it to stick. So I'm going to lay this right, not on the score line, but just right below it so that I can get this adhered. And I'm going to hold my flap there. So let me get this on there again. And this really paper is just not really conducive to being able to see what in the world you're doing. So let's get this up here because we want our bottom to be, okay, I think that's good. So we'll go ahead and lay him down. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're going to fold this up, fold our flaps like that, and then we're going to add this to the outside. So let's put some adhesive on these flaps, and see right here it's over just a little bit. So, because this flap's not wanting to fold up. So I'm going to come back right here and just trim, because no one's going to see this. So I'm going to trim this just a little bit, because he's affecting the way the bag's going to close, okay? just because I got it off just a little. All right, so we're going to bring these up, adhere them like that, and then we'll have our bag, okay? So let's put some adhesive on here. I don't know about y'all, but the seal, some days it wants to work and then some days it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to lay this here and line that up like that and do the same thing with this one. Get those side pieces put in, and now we're going to bring this up and tuck that around. Okay, so now this one, we'll take these crazy lines and add some adhesive on the edges. I don't want to go past my score line because I want to be able to get my bag to line up, and we want it to lay, you know, flat, right? So we want it to line up so it looks like a bag that's not been boogered up. All right, so let me take, and I'm going to hold my bag, and I'm going to line up the bottom, make sure that it's even, and we're going to come around and tuck that right there, make sure our edges are together, and then we'll come back and do the same thing on this one. Let me flip it up. Whoops, hang on, my fingers are getting stuck. So we want to get this one lined up. Better to do it this way. I don't know. I'm trying to hold it so y'all can see it. We want to line this up. I'm going to trim that off right there. We want to line that right up and get the edges right there so there's a seam. It looks seamless. Let me trim that little piece right there off. All right, and then come in with your hand or your bone folder, and we want to make sure all of our sides are glued in, like the little flaps are glued down. And then there is our little bag, okay? Now, again, I said we can pinch this in. Now, this one we're going to do, we'll do a hole. So I'm going to use, I'm trying to decide if I should do the dark or this one. What do y'all think? I think the dark was going to be a little bit, what do y'all think? Real quick. All right, let's go with dark. I'm going to go with dark. So I'm going to use the 1/8 of an inch hole puncher, okay? So I'm just going to eyeball it. Now, if you are a perfectionist, then just go in here and measure where you want your holes to go, okay? So I'm just going to put mine somewhere. So you can tell that I kind of, can you tell that I'm like, live on the edge? And then I'm going to hopefully get these lined up. And we'll poke one right about here. And then we'll poke one right about here. I probably would take my time and measure it, but since I've held you up all this time. All right, so what we're going to do, so that's what's, this is the 10 by 10, okay? And all right, so we're going to take and just feed our ribbon through that little tiny hole. If you do 1/4 of an inch, it's going to be a little bit too big, but we're going to use that one on the next bag if we have time. And I think we should, but okay, so I'm going to lay that there, and I'm just going to figure out how much of a loop I want, because I'm going to put a little loop-de-doopy here. So let's just cut, where's my scissors? Here they are. I'm just going to cut a piece like that, and then we'll trim it. Okay, so let's poke that in the hole and pull it through. Now you can either put a piece of cards, either more paper or cardstock on the inside if you want to cover this. I'm just going to tie it in a knot and maybe glue them down. We'll see. All right, so let's make sure our ribbon, all right, and then I'm just going to come in here. I don't want it that long. I'm going to trim this off because this is a little tiny bag, right? So that's a lot of ribbon. So let's go like that. So let's trim, and then I'm going to cut, probably trim this up a little bit more. And then we're going to tie a knot on the inside. And that will hold it in place. And again, if you want to put some tape around it, or a piece of cardstock or something to cover it, if you haven't, you know, the need to feel like you have to do that, then by all means. Let me just pull this up. I'm trying to get my fingers in here. I'm just going to tie a knot, and as soon as I get that tied, and try to keep it somewhat close to the front of the bag, to the back of the bag. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Just tie a quick knot. And I'm not too concerned on how pretty this looks because it's going to be on the inside of the bag and we're going to hide it anyways. And I'll trim that piece down. All right, so there is our little hanging piece for that one. And we'll fix that because that's a little too big. We'll trim some of that off. And then I would probably put some tape or something over here to hide that. We don't need all that hanging. All right, and then we will just trim it off that. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Let me just go ahead and cut a piece off. And we'll do the ribbon on this side. And again, if you're, I mean, this is big enough that you could put a, you know, like a candle, you know, not a large Yankee candle, but this is what? This is about 6 1/4 inches high, and it's 5 inches or so wide. So it's a good size bag too. So you could, you know, you could put little socks, gloves, all sorts of little goodies. You could fill it with some food if you want, as long as you wrap it up. But you know what I'm saying. You could put all sorts of goodies in here. Actually, you could put goodies, little candies, cards. You could make cards for somebody as a gift. And then, dadgummit, you know, you could put greeting cards in here. That would be a nice gift for someone. Boy, I did cut a lot of ribbon off on this one, didn't I? All right, so you get the idea of what I'm doing here, right? So we're gonna feed this through, and then I'll show you one more thing. And then y'all, it's only 6 after 8, so if y'all are okay, let's go ahead and make this other little tiny one so you can see the other tiny bag. Same way, you make it the same way, same directions, just it's a smaller piece of paper. All right, so there's that. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that, dodo head. I gotta cut that off. I'm tying knots. And, all right, let's see. How long do we have that one? All right, so let's just pretend that those match. So there is our bag, okay? Now, what you can do, and we can flip, you can play with the, you know, get your ribbon, get that all played with. Now, if you want to, again, you can still fold it in if you want it to look like that gusset, like a gusset bag, right? And you still have your handle. But there is a cute little bag. So we got one right, all right? So that's the 10 by 10 size. All right, real quick, let's make the other one. So let's do that one. It's the same thing. So let's move him out of the way. And I will make, I don't know what I did with my trash can. I will make the other one, the 12 by 12, and do another video and post it so you all can see that one, because I don't want you to think that I really don't know what I'm doing, because sometimes I do. So, all right, so we're going to do the gnomes. I thought they were cute. All right, so let's bring in. Now, this paper is 8 inches by 8 inches. I'm going to score these separate only because it's just killing me on trying to find the thing. Okay, so on this one, of course, because there's a pattern, I want this to be the top. So this is going to be scored at 1 inch, okay? And it's the same thing. So we're going to score 1 inch here. All right, and then on the sides of this one, we're going to score these at 2 inches. So all the sides, except for the top, will be scored at 2. All right, so we'll just keep going around. Where's my top? Yeah, right there. And whoops, let me get it this way. We'll do 2 inches here. All right, and then we've got one more side that we need to do, which is this one. I know I'm flopping everything around. And then we're going to do 2 inches here. All right, and then we'll do this one too. So this is my top. So I'm going to do this at 1 inch. So I'm going to use the 1 inch side of my paper trimmer. If you don't have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, I'm telling you, this is really a good one to have, because it's got all of the 1/4 inches all the way around. And then we're going to all the way out to, this thing goes all the way out to 17 inches. So if you're a scrapbooker, all right, so we're going to do 2 inches again on all 3 sides. If you're a scrapbooker, this is perfect for your 12 by 12 paper. All right, so we've got 2 inches there. And then our last piece right here, yeah, we haven't done this one, is 2 inches, okay? All right, so there's our 2 pieces of paper. Move this out of the way. All right, so again, we're going to fold all of our score lines. And I'm going to fold this one back because that's the top, but I just want to get them folded. Okay. All right, so this one we're going to fold back. We want to adhere this because I want the little snowflakes. I thought that would be cute to have the snowflakes. Now this, you got to be careful because you only got an 1 inch here, so you don't want to get your adhesive on the part that's not supposed to be. All right, and then we're going to fold this one over again and make sure it's nice and folded and burnished with our bone folder. And sometimes it gets off just a little bit, so you might have to manipulate the top of it so that it's even, and then you'll have to kind of push your scoring thing down, your burnish it. And then we want to get this burnished as well, okay? So we'll get that. Just make sure this guy wants to cooperate. All right, and then we've got that scored. So let's do the same thing with this one. We're going to fold, and then we're folding everything in. Everything in, everything in. Fold this one back and glue it. Okay. Boy, I tell you, that's some sticky glue, isn't it? And then we're going to fold this in one more time to get a good burnish on that one. All right. And the same with this one. Okay. Now, so we're going to do the same thing, right? So we're going to cut off the 2 squares. So let's cut them off of this one and get our snips. And I think it's probably going to be easier to do. And I hate cutting off these little gnomes because they're so daggone cute. All right, so we're going to cut, I think I'll do it this way, the two corners off. All right, so this we're going to cut 2 off. And this is a lot, if you do have the larger, the scissors, like my ribbon scissors, you can do this in one swipe, right? You just, instead of me doing it 2 or 3 times, you can just take probably one good cut and cut these corners off. All right. See, y'all really didn't have anything to do tonight, right? That's why you're hanging out with me. All right. Well, it's 12 after. We'll be done here in just a few minutes. All right, and then this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut the flaps in horizontally, so we want to cut in this way so they can fold up, and do this side. This is a really cute, this is a small bag. This would be a cute bag for just a little something small. All right, and then, all right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to layer this on top of here, and then we'll fold our flaps up. So let's layer that, and we'll just do it. I'll make this pretty quick. Whoops, if I can get my snail to work, or seal. So used to snail. All right, so we're going to lay this guy right in here. Lay it right up to, I can see my middle of my snowflake, so I'm going to lay it right almost to the edge because I don't want it to go too far over. And see, now this one I've cut again a little bit off, or I've got it laid in here. Yeah, this one's a little short, so we'll have to make that work. We'll just cut it. All right, so we're going to fold this up. We've got that down. So make sure when you're doing this that you really make a good, if you even have to make a little pencil mark so you can see your score lines, because this really should have come over and about a 1/16 of an inch, but it'll work. We're going to make it work. So I'm just going to fold this guy over to where it should be scored, because it's, when I glued it down, it's a little bit off. So I'm just going to make sure that he can fold properly, and he does. So we'll go ahead and add his adhesive to that and get that like that, and they'll go up on the sides. So just like we did the 10 by 10, you do the same thing with the 8 by 8, and then you just cut the flaps off, the corners off of one side, and then we just put this together, and this will kind of, and then you want to make sure that you can get everything evened on the edges and on the sides, right? So that way, if this inside part isn't quite as even, it's okay, because we can fix that. Now this one's up just a little bit, so he might interfere, which he is. So let me just trim this little piece, because this is where it went over. So I'm just going to do a little quick trim. This piece went over just a little bit because I glued it down. Not paying, wasn't paying I was paying attention, but trying to get to where I could see my score lines. All right, and then this is going to go just like that, okay? So let's put our adhesive on here. So we're going to do a little bit here, down at the bottom, and up the side, and we'll do a little bit right here. And let's go ahead, and it's probably better to do your adhesive on both sides, because once you start folding it up, it's hard to get it to work. All right, so we're gonna lay it down, get it even on the edge, make sure it's all straight and lined up on the sides, and get your fingers out from underneath so it doesn't stick to you. All right, and I think we've got that one, and let's do this one before it sticks to itself. So you just want to make sure everything's lined up and straight and evened, and then you go ahead and adhere your box or your bag and make sure everything is straight. There you go. And we'll push this one down. Use our bone folder. And you can put, tissue paper in here, the little shreddy stuff. And again, so the back here, I want the back where I glued it down to face in the back, so that makes the top pretty. Now this one, I was going to go ahead, this one I'm going to use the 1/4 of an inch, because I'm going to use this ribbon that came in the Gnome Suite. So I'm going to use a 1/4 inch. It's going to be a little bit bigger, but it will allow me to pull that thread through. So I'm just going to come in here and just do a quick little, notch on that. And this paper is a little bit thicker. There we go. And then we'll do one over here, because we're going to add that ribbon to this as well. And again, I'm just eyeballing. Hopefully it's close enough. And then we'll run our ribbon through. And this is such a cute, it's really a cute, you can put jewelry in here. You can put all sorts of stuff. I think that one's off just a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. Oops, come on, out of there. There we go. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to feed our ribbon in, and I went with a little bit bigger hole because this ribbon's a little bit thicker. It was going to be hard to try to get that in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up and tie a knot, so that way I'm not going to waste a whole lot of this ribbon. It's a pretty ribbon. All right, so we're going to tie a knot there, and then we can trim off those pieces, and that way the knot hopefully will not slide through there. It might be, but it's all right. We're just going to do a little one. We're not going to do much. Let's just cut like that and roll that through. So y'all get the gist of this, right? How to make these little bags. And again, my apologies for my dorkiness and not getting the one that I really wanted to show you, the 12 by 12, the one that has the hanging card, is the one I really wanted y'all to see. So again, I will do another video. I'll get that to you. I should be able to get it done tomorrow. All right, so let me get that in here. All right, so you get the gist of it, right? We're putting our bag. We got our little handle. Aren't these gnomes the cutest? I swear. And just to let you all know, I will be putting out my Black Friday special tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll have it ready to go. I'm trying to get the last of the pieces all put together. I'm putting a bundle of 3 of my top online classes that I did this year. One is the gnomes, and those have some fun folds and pop-ups. I'm also doing my fun fold class that I just did about a month or so ago. And then there's a home decor class that I did last year that you're going to make some trees, and pictures are in the when you see the ad for it, or the picture for it, you'll see that the trees and everything, what you'll be making out of designer paper. Now, granted, the paper is not available. This is something that I did last year, but you can make it with any kind of paper that you have. So just keep that in mind. Let me just tighten this up a little bit. I think I got too much there. Let me tie him in a knot. So those classes, between the 3 of them, one of them you'll make, 2 of them. Well, the gnome class is, you'll have 6 cards, so you'll have 6 videos and 6 tutorials. The fun folds are 4 cards, so that's 4 different folds, and with 4 videos and 4 PDF colored, full color tutorials. Those, I just lost my train of thought there. Those are, so that's 4, that's 10 right there, and then there's 4 more to do the home decor. So when I priced them out of what I charged for those classes, it was $100 131.50, and I'm doing it at 75% off, so it's $30. I just rounded it off, the $30 for the 3 classes, so you're going to get 14 videos and tutorials, if I'm not mistaken, for $30. And you'll get, I'll have that out by tomorrow, I think, and it'll be available through Cyber Monday. All right, so isn't that a cute little bag as well? So there you go. There's another one. Isn't that cute? I wish their little heads weren't. I should have planned the paper better, but it's fine. I think it's cute with these little gnomes. All right, so there's the little baby one. This is the 8x8 paper. This is the 10x10 paper. And this, the one that we didn't make the card, is the 12x12. Okay, so I will make another video with some retired paper, and I will show you how to do the 12, which we know how to do the bag. I'll show you how to do the hang-in part so that you can get the hang of that. So how's that? All right, there you go. We're only 20 minutes past the normal time that I spend doing these things, but I hope y'all didn't mind the craziness. Some people might not have thought it was, wanted to waste their time watching me make mistakes, but you know what? We're all human. We all make mistakes, and that's what it's about. We all have to learn somehow, and we still make mistakes. Even the ones that, are $1 million achievers, they make mistakes too. So there you go. I hope y'all have enjoyed this craziness tonight, and make sure that you save the date for December 10th, and I'll put that out again, and we'll do another inspiration creation anticipation. And thank you guys for spending time with me and watching my craziness, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends, or whomever you're spending it with. And I will see you all